Alright guys, so getting this BH Cosmetics Carli Bybel palette review slash tutorial started. You do get 15 eyeshadows and 7 highlighters. Now, you guys already know I have some tea to spill sometimes, well, kind of all the time, on specific people that I do reviews on or tutorials on. However, I'm gonna be dead honest with you guys, this is my first time ever using BH Cosmetics, and this is my first time ever hearing of Carli Bybel. To be honest with you, I thought she was a singer at first, but then I googled it and I was like, oh shit, she's a beauty guru. So I should know that shit, but I don't. So I saw this palette at Ulta and I was like, you know what? This is a beautiful palette and it's only $22.50 for all of these shades. I was like, let me ask you guys if you guys want to get a review on this, even though nobody personally like requested it. But as soon as I posted the screenshot, or not posted the screenshot, posted the Snapchat of it, and I was like, hey, if you guys want a tutorial slash review on this palette, screenshot it. I literally got thousands of screenshots. So I'm assuming you guys either A, like her, or B, really like the color layout of this palette. So I thought that I would do a review slash tutorial on it. And yeah, we're gonna go ahead and get this started with the swatches. Also, I did mention it does cost $22.50, and you do get, let me see, how many grams of product? It doesn't say like per shadow on there or anything like that, but it says 30 grams total. So you do get 30 grams of product for $22.50. I think that's an awesome deal. Definitely affordable, and like I said, it is sold at Ulta. To my knowledge, this is sold at Ulta only. I did purchase it in store, not online, so I don't know if they have it online. But yes, let's go ahead and get these swatches started. Okay, so getting this started right here, you get your 15 eyeshadows ranging from matte, shimmer, and I believe satin, because I do see a little bit of shimmer in here, but not as much as the shimmery shades, obviously. And then you get 7 highlighters. Wait, why do I keep saying 7? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 highlighters. A bitch can't count, okay? I don't even know why I just said 7 in the intro, but it's 6. So we're gonna go ahead and start off with this light transition shade. And yes, you guys know I am a man. I have hairy hands. So get over it with these swatches. Okay, so there we go with that light shade right there. Let's see, is that even picking up? Honestly, that looks like absolutely nothing on my hand. But it looks pretty in the pan though. And let's see the shimmer shade. Okay, that seems really pigmented. Let's see. Okay, kind of a lot of fallout. Again, I kind of feel like it's not really showing up much. Maybe you guys could see in the camera better than I can in person, which would be weird, but maybe you guys can see. I don't fucking know, but I don't really see much in person. It does add, you know what that looks like? It would be a pretty highlight, but it doesn't, I don't know, it doesn't really do much. And then this right here looks like another transition shade. Okay, that one's pretty. That shows up really nice. I like that shade right there. I'll be using that today. And then this shade I did swatch in store, and this is the reason why I bought the palette, because I was like, holy shit, this is beautiful. Look at that. Look how bomb that is. I was like, holy shit, I need to buy the palette just because of that. And then the next one here, which is like a bronze copper shade, which actually has like a little bit of pink to it as well. I think that's beautiful too. And then here goes a champagne slash bronzy shade. Or definitely really champagne. Okay, so the shimmers are showing up really nice so far. I love the way they feel and they have a really good color payoff. Then we're taking this shade right here. It's hard when I don't have the names, but oh well, fuck it. And this looks like a nice transition shade. That one has a good amount of pigment. I don't see why the other mattes are just kind of like lacking for me, because that one definitely has a good amount of pigment. And then we're gonna take this plum shade that I thought was satin because it looked like it had a little bit of sheen to it, but as soon as I put it on my finger, it doesn't look like it has a sheen. Okay, that shade is really fucking pigmented. What the fuck? That is beautiful. I definitely, oh my gosh, I wonder if I should use that, but I feel like I've been doing so many pinks lately, so we'll see. I don't know what I'm gonna do for my look yet. Then taking the shade next to it, which looks like a plumish gray. This color looks beautiful. Oh yeah, I love that shade right there. Do you guys see that? It's beautiful. It's like a grayish purple. And then taking this deep plum right here. We'll swatch that up the side. Yeah, again, that one has a good amount of pigment. I wonder why the first two just lacked for me, but the rest are like bomb as fuck. All right, then I'm taking this light shade right here. And like I said before in my other reviews, these light shades do nothing for me. I don't use them for anything. I'm gonna take this right here and then I'm gonna wipe off my hand. Yeah, that one has a good amount of pigment too, but I wouldn't use that for anything, honestly, but good amount of pigment though. Okay, so I got my hand all wiped off, and let's go ahead and go in with this bronzy shade right here. That one's pretty too. I like that, but it's just like a regular old bronze, which I'm sure everybody has. And then we're going in with this other shade down here, which looks like another pretty transition shade. And that one does have kind of a lot of fallout. Yeah, when I press it into the skin, a lot falls out, but that shade is beautiful. And then we're gonna go in with the last shimmer shade, which is like a deep bronze shimmer, and this one looks extremely pigmented. Oh yeah, that's beautiful as well. So far from the swatches, I'm really liking these. And let's go ahead and take the very last shadow, which is this dark brown, which that has a shit ton of chalk or fallout or whatever the fuck it's called. Chalk, fallout, same shit. But that one is really pigmented. Okay, now we're gonna go in with the highlighting shades. This is a perfect palette if you love highlighting because it does have a good amount. And let's see how they swatch though. Ooh, that one is a really pretty. So that one right there has like a little bit of pink to it, like a pink champagne. And this one right here is bronzy. They do feel pretty soft, but there is kind of a lot of fallout. I don't know if you could tell on my finger right there. So I'm wondering how it's gonna go on the skin. Hopefully it doesn't flake all over the place. But, oh, that one's pretty. This one right here is like straight up white. Holy shit, do you see that? Oh my gosh, that's like white as hell. Woo! Oh my gosh, I don't know who would use that one. Maybe if you're like really pale, that would be pretty on you, but fuck, I haven't seen one that light before. And then we're gonna go in with this pinky shade. If you guys know me, you guys know I love something with a hue of pink. Oh fuck, but that one's really light too. You know what is awesome is that this has a really good shade range from light to dark, so it's good for all skin tones. Looking at this one right here, it actually doesn't look too pinkish. It looks more plum, like there's like purple to it. All right, then I'm gonna go in with this bronzy shade right here, which is beautiful. Okay, I love that shade. That is bomb. I would use that as an eyeshadow. I feel like I'm a little bit too light to use that as a highlight, but I would definitely use that as a shadow. And then the last highlighting shade here, I'll go ahead and take this right on my hand. Yeah, it kind of has a lot of fallout on that one. It is kind of buttery, so maybe I did press into it too hard, but look how bomb that is. Okay, so starting this off, I'm taking my MAC Painterly paint pot as usual, and I'm going to prime my lids using my Morphe E23. I know I always use this brush and it is discontinued, but they did come out with another one that replaced it, which I think it starts with the E as well, but I'm not too sure. But it just has deeper bristles than this. So you could still get this brush, but it's gonna be like the new updated version, and I have the old beatdown version, which I'm not even gonna fucking lie to you guys. I went through 3 of these brushes, okay? I really like them and I love doing my concealer with them and my powder underneath the eye and doing it for my lids, but this little fucking piece of shit broke apart so many times, so I'm glad that they redid it and I'm hoping that it's like better now, but I haven't got a chance to get the new one. Okay, so starting this off, I'm gonna be taking my MAC 224 with that top left shade. It's gonna be hard for me to tell you guys the names, obviously, because there's no names on here. So I'll just have it on the side of the screen like I normally do, and I'll circle it so that way you guys know what shade I am taking. But this one is just the one in the top left corner, and I'm just buffing that bitch on back and forth in my crease to get a transition shade. And I will definitely say that these do have a lot of kick up when you press your brush into it, which I'm not really tripping about because it is obviously a little bit more of an affordable palette, being that it is only 22 bucks, but when you're paying 45, you want it to be good. And this shade right here is a really pretty transition shade. It's just light enough to even go onto the brow bone. So I'm just buffing that all the way up onto my strong ass brow bone. I look like a fucking caveman sometimes. Do you guys notice how tan I look with a white backdrop? I'm like looking at all my other videos, I'm like, what the fuck, you wouldn't even tell that I got darker, because I don't know if you guys heard in the other video or if I said it in the other video, I don't even fucking know, but I went to the river and I got like 2 shades darker. I went from an NW25 to an NW35, and I'm like, in all my videos I still look pale, but it's because the backdrop is all dark. But now that I have a white one, I'm like, oh shit, you could see that I did get tan. Okay, then I'm taking my Morphe M514 with that deeper brown shade, and I'm just gonna run this through the crease to give a little bit of definition. On today's eye, I think I'm gonna go a little bit softer because I know I've been going like really dramatic with my eyes and doing like a wing liner and everything. So I'm gonna take it a little bit softer today, but I think I may cut the crease just a little bit, only because I do like that it gives my eye a bigger appearance, even though this shit's small as fuck. So far, I'm really loving the way these shadows are blending together. They're very, very easy to blend. And I haven't had any issues at all with any fallout. So let's hope that that, you know, keeps on going, because I fucking hate some fallout, especially when I got all my foundation done. So far so good. Okay, then I'm taking just another smidge of that dark brown, actually a darker brown. It's in the bottom row. I'm like, I wish there was names so I can tell you. I honestly wonder, like, is it really expensive to add names? Because there's so many palettes that doesn't have names. And it's hard when you're doing a tutorial to not tell the name. Even though I do put it on the side of the screen, it's still easier to say the name. Then I'm taking that matte plum shade and I'm just gonna place this in the outer corner and blend it up into the crease just a little bit. I like how I said I'm gonna go lighter on today's eye, and here I go, smoking out the outer crease like usual. Oh my gosh. Okay, then I'm gonna go ahead and wet my MAC 239 brush. A bitch can't talk as usual, getting all tongue-tied. And I'm gonna be taking the pinkish shade and the copperish pink shade, and I'm gonna mix them two on the lid, only because I mixed them while I was off camera right now. I was like, holy fuck, they're pretty together. So I'm gonna put this on first and then put that bronzy one on top of that. Then I'm wetting my brush again, and I'm gonna go ahead and get that bronzy shade. To me, this bronzy shade, the one that's in the top right corner, does have some pink to it. So that's why I'm like, when I mix them together, I was like, oh shit, this is really fucking pretty together. Hopefully you guys are able to see from camera that these shimmers are really fucking pigmented. I'm really liking them so far. The shimmer shades do have a bit of fallout though, but I do feel like that's kind of normal, so I'm just flicking it off. I honestly, with how much I hate fallout, I should start like baking my under eye while I do my shadow, but I just feel like I'm too lazy for that. I'm gonna go ahead and like soak my MAC 249, is that what it is? 242 brush, and I'm gonna be taking that lighter pink shade again, and I'm just gonna run this right along where I have that crease shade. And I only did this because I'm like looking in the mirror and I'm like, oh, I really like it when my lid looks bigger. So instead of doing it with concealer, because I already had my shadow on, I'm just taking this right on top and creating the illusion of a bigger lid. I don't know if I mentioned this before, but you guys can just wet the hell out of your brush, like really, really wet it, and dip it into your shadow and then just paint on a lid. Rather than cutting the crease with concealer, just do it like this. I do think with concealer it is a little bit more clean, but if you're in a hurry, this works almost as good. Okay, then I'm taking the light shimmery pink shade and I'm popping that in my tear duct as a inner tear duct highlighter. And I like this one because it does have like an iridescent pink to it. If you guys are familiar with MAC's Motif eyeshadow, that's kind of what this looks like. All right, and because I want to change it up today and do something a little bit different, I'm going to be taking my brown Aqua XL liner in the shade M60 rather than black. Thought I would do brown, even though this kind of does look like black from a distance. Okay, so it, like, honestly, I can't tell from here, but you guys let me know. It pretty much looks fucking black, right? But it's like a dark brown, so I'm trying to switch it up and do something a little bit different. So I tried, all right? So now I'm gonna be going in with my Morphe M560 with that plum shade, and I'm gonna be buffing this out, and I'm taking that right underneath. And just in case you guys really like to smoke out your lower lash line, this is a bomb-ass brush for your lower lash line, so I highly recommend it. Then I'm taking my Morphe M506 with that like lavender looking shade, and I'm just gonna buff this out. All right, so now that I have that all done, I'm gonna go ahead and pop on some lashes, do my other eye, and we're gonna come back and do the highlight and complete this look. All right, so now we're gonna go in with the highlight. So I'm gonna be taking my Morphe M510, yep, M510, and I'm gonna be taking this pinkish shade first, which is one of the larger ones on the left-hand side, and I'm probably gonna mix the tan shade in with it, but let's see how this goes on. Oh shit, pretty damn pigmented, but I don't know, I almost feel like it's like, it doesn't swatch like this white. It almost looks grayish. I don't know, maybe I'm just too tan now for like the lighter shade. Then I'm gonna mix a little bit of the bronzy one on top because I do feel like that's too light for me. Oh shit, that one is pigmented. But for some reason, I feel like you have to put in extra work to blend it out. And like, my fat ass hand weighs a lot. So that's a lot of fucking work. It's like doing aerobics and shit. But Lord knows I could use exercise. So to be dead honest with you guys, I'm not a big fan of the highlighters. I feel like on the viewfinder, they look really nice, but in person, they look very like powdery and very dry, which is the opposite effect of what you want. Like obviously I want my cheeks to look wet as fuck, like I just came out of the ocean. And I feel like this, it looks good from a distance, but up close, it definitely does look dry and it shows fine lines, which I normally really don't have a problem with my highlighters, and this definitely shows fine lines right here. So I definitely do think it is worth the money though, considering you're paying $22.50 for this whole ass palette. And the shadows I definitely liked. So I don't know, I think it does get the job done, but maybe I use too much. I don't know. On the second cheek right here, I did start off with a little bit less and I still do notice the fine lines and the dryness of it, but maybe that's just my dry ass skin. I don't know. But I'm gonna go ahead and pop on a lipstick real fast and I'll come back so we can complete this little review. Alright, so I got my lip all done. Just in case you guys are wondering what's on my lip, I am wearing Taurus lip liner and Strip Ultra Satin Lip from ColourPop. Both are from ColourPop. So to go ahead and wrap this review slash tutorial up, I'm definitely gonna go ahead and give this a hit because I love it. Honestly, I feel like it's a really good palette. The shadows work good. Yes, there is a lot of kick up. On this shade down here, specifically this dark brown, there is a shit ton of kick up, almost as bad as Anastasia's Subculture palette, not her regular shadows, just to clarify. The highlighters, honestly, I think that they do work. They definitely do give me a nice glow from a distance, but to be honest with you, they're definitely not my favorite. I feel like they're not buttery enough, they're not creamy enough, and they make my skin look really, really dry up close. Even though on the viewfinder, I'm like looking at the viewfinder, I'm like, hey, this shit looks pretty good. Or, I mean, so I think because I am a distance away. But anywho, I definitely give this a hit. It's definitely not a miss, especially for $22.50. I would definitely hit up your Ulta and get this because it has your highlighters, it has your shadows, and I feel like you can create a really awesome look with this, especially for that price point. So I think BH Cosmetics did a really good job, and Carli Bybel as well. I definitely like it. So yes, I definitely give this 2 thumbs up, and make sure you guys give this video a thumbs up because that'll really help a fat bitch out. And make sure you guys subscribe to my channel if you guys are not subscribed, and turn on your post notifications so you guys get notified when I upload a video. And I will catch you guys in my next video. Peace out, Girl Scout.